I'm just speaking from an organization, the Humanitarian Human Rights Organization. But my thing, I think I'm talking about is community organizing. So what I need to do is get a consensus real quick on what we think community organizing is when you're here. We'll start right at the same. Community organizing, what does that mean?
Community organizing.
Yes.
Get together with people that, you share space with, to bring about whatever change.
Okay. I can't get it here. Unless you sit. We'll move on. Okay, so we kind of get a consensus of what community organizing is, right? All right, so this is the third room. I think this is the final room. I'm just getting, because I think I have like a few minutes, so I'll just get to it. I just want to touch on mindset. We have things that you heard adults talk to you about doing, what you should do, and great advice that you probably should take. My key thing is having a mindset to do the things correctly, right? So, prime example, how many make their room up before, who don't make their bed up before they leave the house? That's right, I'm telling yourself, you don't. Now, watch this. Tell me why. Don't wake up in time, busy. Gotcha. It ain't important. Rush. Yo, these are the same answers. There's three. Now let me show y'all. Those same answers, this is what grown folk use. I'm too busy. I'm rushing. It ain't that important. Your bed is inside your house, right? This is the ground where everything begins. So, when you give yourself an excuse, you're going to continue to make excuses. Make the room up. Come home and your room is in order. You know everything there. You know why your room smell like Doritos or smell like roses. Some shoes, some shirt balled up in the corner. Huh? You make your room up, sir? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Structure and discipline. Structure are the things generally that your parents are going to give you or that you're giving yourself. The discipline is to stay within that structure. That structure, how about diamonds? Diamonds are made under what?
Pressure.
They're not made under the big sofas. They're not made under lounger. It's made under pressure. And diamonds are the hardest stones on the planet, correct? So we talk about a mindset. The mindset that we have to have is the one that constantly being tried, okay, by ourselves. Because we are being tried outside of ourselves. Whether you see it or not, your enemy will come as a group. And your enemy breaks you down because you're not operating as a group. You're operating as individuals. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to defeat you because you're all individuals. You see no need to really operate economically on your own institutions. You see no need to grow your own food, so you go over here. You see no need to do anything that you depend on from anybody else to do for yourself. And so you become an economic slave. You become a dependent group. Marcus Garvey called it a beggar group because you don't want to do anything by yourself, for yourself, right? So community organizing. If people are talking about boycott in February, right? Why don't you ever hear them say build institutions, build institutions, and build institutions?
Wow, that's good.
Ownership and control is the only movement.
Man,
That's my mantra tattooed on my arm. Ownership and control. Why? If I own my mindset, I'm in control of myself.
Intellectual property.
If I put people around me that challenge me, I'm building that diamond.
yeah.
If I challenge myself, I'm building my diamond. If I'm reading every day, every week, I got a book, I got 6 books laid out, I'm reading. All because the mind is a muscle, it has to be worked out on. The body is a muscle. When you hit 30, ladies, you begin to lose muscle. Men, 30. Bone density, testosterone, gone. If you know all these problems, why aren't you countering them with proper diet, proper nutrition, exercise? Why don't you have people around you that push you? Because you don't want that pressure. I want it. If you know Kobe, the mantra, the Mamba mentality. What's that Mamba mentality? I'm chasing a version of me I will never catch. Who don't understand that? Everybody in the back too. There's a version of me that I will never catch. Because my old version was yesterday. I don't wake up thinking about, man, I gotta pay this light bill, or the insurance about to be canceled. If you wake up every day thinking about the same problems, you're gonna be in the same lifestyle. Your neurons are connected based on what you think. Exactly. And your body begins to follow. Yeah. Do you understand that? Yeah. The way a man thinks is he. Yeah. If you continue to put out negative thoughts, the first time you wake up versus drinking a glass of water or doing 25 push-ups, right? That's what you do. Roll up, women too. Roll over, get out, drink your water, hydrate your organs, because they ain't had water 8 hours, and it help wake you up. Do some push-ups, strengthen yourself. We have to internally, physically strengthen ourselves so that we can continue to externally strengthen our homes, our streets, our neighborhoods, our political parties, our political attributions. Everything is economic and political. Y'all get that? So you make your bed up because, like, I don't want to make my bed up. I got time. You sit back and be like, well, all right. You come home and forgot. What did, this is a habit that I can apply. If I can apply it to the bedroom, well, let me go ahead and do these floorboards, because I like clean floorboards in my house, personally. Clean them floorboards, man. Hit them with the Clorox. Come on, back, hit them. You walk in, now you got pride. You start in the house. The house is the building mechanism for how you're going to be as an adult outside of your home. Y'all get that? We have to have strong people, physically and mentally. Do not be afraid to read. Because remember, there was at one point in time, you was murdered for reading. There was a point in time when you were murdered for speaking Bantu, Arabic, Mango, Mandingo, whatever language was as our ancestors when they were brought over here, right? And so they use a phrase like, oh man, we want to have some black people put it in the books. Then what? So go buy your books. Start thinking about becoming a solutionary. Because as Huey P. Newton said, the revolution belongs to young people. It don't belong to me. I'm 53. I'm where I'm going to be at. But I keep growing. I never stop. I got children. I got y'all. Y'all are my kids. So always read. Don't be afraid to read. I don't care what, if it's a comic book, if it's your culture. I don't read, me personally, I don't read fiction. I watch it. But my library is crazy. I'm super proud of my library. Remember this, when you look at when you go in people's homes, what you see on the walls are the things that they worship. And I'm not talking about worship like right now. This is like, do you have your family? Or do you got liquor bottles? Do you have album covers? What do you have on it? What your home is your temple. It's an external manifestation of what's inside of you. If your bed, your room is junky, this is what's going on in your mind. When I go to your car, and I see all that stuff in there, it's a little bit of clutter going on here. It's all connected. The universe is one. It doesn't go up and down, it expands. And if you want to expand in your mind, then that means you're breaking down. You've already given up. But the most constant thing in the universe is change. So you guys have to constantly be empowered. Make sure that you have people around you that challenge you. Make sure you kill that thing in your mind and say, well, I can go and sleep another hour. I don't know. Oh man, I ain't got it. I'm gonna park close as I can to the thing. I don't want to walk over. Y'all young as heck. I don't want to walk. That voice, that's the voice that got to go away and be replaced. And it's only being replaced when you add that pressure. Y'all understand? Go ahead.
That's something that constantly keeps you in a place where you're not able to expand. How can you adjust that?
From inside. If somebody's constantly bringing you down, right? For example, they're doing this, right? They're not touching you. They're just doing this. But you may look at them in a certain type of light and not expect that from them. Is that what you're saying? Or is it just a person, brother? All right, let me give you the exercise. I do a little different stuff. I'm not like regular folks. So you have to. I told the other group about self-reflection. Who doesn't know what self-reflection is? You know what self-reflection is? Okay. So self-reflection is when you look back, you say, man, that person said this, that, and the other thing about me. You know, when you sit back and you think about the conversation you had at breakfast or somebody you just sitting around thinking about it, that's self-reflection. I take my self-reflection a little deeper. I got you. I take my self-reflection a little deeper. Oh, he was rubbing his beard when he was asking me a question, looking down. He had his hat down the whole day. I seen him move to the left or the right when he was in the room. Okay, I seen a couple people recording when I was talking. I see her move from the left to the right, get different. This is me. And then what do I do with that? I store it in my subconscious. So if I'm ever standing in a room like this, I know how to, based on the little bits and pieces. So the conversation, what you're doing is you have to strengthen your mindset and understand, what is that doing to me? And why am I allowing it? Why am I allowing it? Because responsibility is going to always come back on you. Let's say you was walking across the street and a dude hits you. Whose fault is that? Is it? What if you didn't walk across the street? I mean, you can take some responsibility. You could have stayed at the house. That's just a thought process. We can say dude was on his phone, but you was walking, you saw the car, or you didn't see the car and got hit. Right? People talking crap. And you allowing it to affect you. Stop allowing it to affect you. Focus on other things. If you can't be in that space, don't be in that space. And if you are in the space, don't be in that space.
That's good.
You have to practice it. It's not something that, you know how people at the job, and they have a mundane job, but they thinking about, well, when I get ready to go to Jamaica, oh, I need to buy the plane tickets, I need this new luggage. Okay, did they get the document? They say, they got 2 hours left on the clock. Well, let me think about something else for another 30 minutes, and I'm going to start dating out plans. Does that make sense? All right, let me get her, and I got you.
Okay, so my question is very little similar to his. So I don't know my mom, right? I would say I'm more of an in-between unstructured and structured. She has a very unstructured lifestyle. She's kind of what you said, economically.
I ain't call your mama that, but go ahead.
Well, it's like she has the mindset of go home.
You ain't got to put your mom out there. Go ahead, to your question. I got you.
Well, maybe hypothetically. She has the mindset of
What's your question?
how can I shift from being in between to
Okay. And I only can use my example. I can give you all a bunch of stuff to do, but I'm using it as an example. I'm in the gym. I don't eat everything, and I gave up certain foods just because I put it like this. I never like people telling me what to do. So if I don't like people telling me what to do, then I have to be in a space where I can operate like I want to operate. Most men don't realize why we work. We really work for freedom. I don't work for a bill. I don't work to build a house. I don't work for my kids or my wife. I work for freedom to be able to do what I want to do, move how I want to move, operate how I want to operate. I operate out of love. Now, my love is in abundance, right? It's because I love black people, but boy, I break the neck at the same time. because I love you so much. Because what we're gonna lay out for you is how we get to a whole nother level, a whole nother room, a whole nother bag, right? And how do we get there? Because it's a marathon, like Nick said, it's a marathon. In order to run a marathon, you have to do what first? No, you don't train first. You have to do what? Where does it all start? In the mind. Nothing starts anywhere outside of the mind. It all starts with
You gotta think it first.
20 miles? 12, 8 hours? What? Am I conditioned for it? Right? This is what you're doing. You do everything in your mind. Remember, you're having a conversation with no voice, and you're hearing it with no ear.
Yeah.
This is your consciousness. Right? Your consciousness is built through your parents and the lifestyles you have. This is the thing that's going to guide you, your first thought process, not the second one. Okay? Like when somebody tell you, oh, yeah, don't do it. That's your consciousness. Now, to build up for the marathon, you had a conversation with yourself. Do I want to do it? Do I want to challenge myself? Or I just want to stay back and don't do anything. Right? And then you begin to train. Right? So if I'm in a space where people don't do marathons, I'm still got to go here and I will begin my training because they ain't doing marathons and that don't affect me. I'm looking to be a marathon runner. They're not. That's an adult. I ain't there yet. I want to be a marathon runner. So I begin my training with my thought process. And then you become an example. Look, this is what you can do when you want to be a marathon runner. Simply with the thought process and doing the training. And I say it then, I'm going to close like I said. Is this it? Who am I talking to? I'm keep on talking, I'm going to keep on going there. So when you train, like I mentioned in the first room, there's a frequency that takes place. The brain operates on certain frequencies. When you focus on yourself, operating out of love, those who are not can no longer hang around you. They simply disappear. You get it? If you are let's just say if you're an average grade student, and then you decide to be a straight A student, your conversation begins to change simply because, hey man, I'm studying a little bit more, so I'm gonna go home a little earlier. Let me get off the phone, let me close the game down, I'll talk to y'all later. That changes because you have people that don't want to move out of comfortable space. Complacency kills. Being comfortable kills. What you want to be comfortable with is challenging yourself. There's never, when you're chasing a better version of yourself, there's never an end. That wall is never the end. What you fall in love with is the process. And when you fall in love with the process of drinking water in the morning, doing 20 push-ups, now I'm gonna drink water, I'm gonna do 50 push-ups, 60 push-ups. Let me tell my homeboy, because when I get up, we both get to school, we talking about, well, I drank water, but I put lemon in it this time, because lemon is alkaline, and put after. Now my shirt's a little tighter, but I put a little lotion on. You feel me? Stan, you feel me? You don't feel me? You feel me? Okay. So, and it goes into a sense of course, self-esteem, pride, and when people see you, they see something different. They see transformation. The gym, just like a temple, a mosque, or your home, are places of transformation if you want them to be. You're defining that. Go ahead. You have it.
We're going to ask everybody to move up front as we close out.
She said, what do you do when you're your biggest enemy?
That's the only enemy.
Unlearn. Unlearn. This is what self-reflection is important at, and the conversations in your mindset. So even with ideas to get things out of your mind, the part of the manifestation process, you have it etherically here, and then I'm gonna go, what did I just do when I wrote it down? Huh? I thought about it, but what I'm saying, I got it out of my mind and transferred it to the paper. So now I can refer to it. I don't necessarily keep it in my mind, I can refer to it. I have measurements now. You understand? That's one thing. The other thing is the root cause of everything. I mentioned to the other group that our community tends to react to everything versus having proactive approaches. The proactive approaches are the longest and the hardest, and sometimes the simplest things to do. Because once you do the proactive approach, you no longer have to have a lot of reactionary taking place. So if black men are the first men to die because of cardiovascular disease, which is based on lack of exercise and the way that we eat, then what is the solution? Eat better, think better. First of all, think better, eat better, work out, right? And then our life expectancy won't be at 68. It'll go back to 70, 80, 90. Now you're here for your grandchildren, healthy, not here as an 80-year-old man broke down on a bunch of prescription drugs. We need black men to be here. We need to be healthy and strong. Y'all got that? So, young guys, fitness, mindset, transform your body to be here for the long haul. When you have yourself, because I had it, I was my own worst enemy. Because I had an attitude. I don't want to hear what you got to say. I'm going to do something else. It ain't that important. That's why I'll make my bed up. It ain't that important. But then all you do is unlearn all that. Because you got to look at what am I looking like in 10 years? What about 2 years after that with the same thought process? Self-destructive, alone, and then I'm surrounded by a bunch of other people like, yeah, me too. Man, I'm my enemy too. I'm gonna be wrapped around. And you know what those people are? They are a manifestation of your personality. Just like when you watch particular TV shows. I know y'all watch Tyler Perry, my dear. Nobody? Everybody say? Okay. So in writing, the writer will create a main character, a protagonist, and then there's an antagonist, like the so-called bad guy. And then there are other characters. Those characters are all really personalities of the main character. And that main character may be a personality of the writer. So y'all watching shows, who watches Yellowstone? Oh, with you. All right, come on, get Yellowstone, put your hand up. Just you back there? Nobody else? Yellowstone. You watch the whole thing? All of it? Yeah? Tell you something about that shit. All right, so I'm just gonna put it like this. You got John Dutton, the father figure. He has 2 sons and a daughter. Their main thing is protecting like 200, 300 acres in Montana that Native Americans want back, corporations want to come and develop a ski lodge for their thing, which is going to maintain this pristine, beautiful land. If you have not been to Montana, you don't. It's beautiful. So, John Dutton doesn't say much. He's a strong male type figure, right? But his daughter is a corporate beast and will say whatever she says, act like she want to act. And then he has a son who has a family, who's a former soldier, who doesn't say much. He just want to do his family thing. And then he got another son that he found out, later on, but he's not really his personality because he got killed off anyway. But all of these guys are really personalities of John Dutton. So when you go back and watch it, you'll see the daughter says things that John normally wouldn't say. But he don't ever share her up because that's the daughter. That's daddy's girl, right? being our worst enemy, we have to become, our best friends. So you just basically do the opposite. You do have to apply pressure to yourself. And you begin to transform. Your whole look begins to transform. Your friends begin to transform. And they don't want to be with you while you're transforming. They ain't with you. Why do you care? You understand? Because other energies will come around you and uplift you and support you. You understand? I need for communities, in the Black community, for institutions that we own and control is always number one. Again, I'm gonna go back to the example of the boycott. Right now you're hearing people talking about boycott grocery stores and something like that. If you boycott a grocery store, where do you get your food from? Y'all go to Atlanta to the Black-owned grocery store? Where y'all going? Because Black people don't own the grocery store. You want to boycott Bank of America? Where you put your money at? Pat want me to do a little Wayne for y'all. No. All right, so my point is, let's get into ownership and control, man. Stay disciplined, stay structured, operate out of love. Thank you.